to the channel. So I'm just leaving the U-Haul spot. I had to rent a trailer to get some things done that I need to get done today. Most importantly, I got to take the doors, the fender, and the rocker to the frame shop. So when they're cutting out the B-pillar, they could put on the doors and check fitment and all that. I also have to go to the dealer. I got to drop off the old bumper because it has a core charge on it for like $100. And if you take the old one back when you're buying a new one, they knock off the 100. So we're gonna go to the house first. I'm gonna strip down that bumper. We're gonna throw that bumper inside of the trailer, and then I might go get the doors at the same time. I'm not sure yet. And then once we go to the dealer, I got the I got some belly pan shields that go under the bumper that I ordered. I got the new what do you call it? The radiator support, the one that was broken that I found out at the end. I seen someone's comment and they're like, why don't you take off the broken piece? Oops. They're like, why don't you take off the broken piece and just like epoxy it back on the onto the old one? I looked at it this morning before I left the house, and I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's gonna hold up when they're bolting on the fender. So I'd rather play it safe than sorry. I'm just gonna replace it and play it the right way. So I did buy some paint as well because the new one doesn't come painted green. So I bought the matching paint from the dealer. We're gonna spray the new one, let it dry off, and then install it. We just got a lot of things to do before I take it to the frame shop. I'm also going on vacation next week, so I want to make sure it's dropped off before then. So by the time I get back, at least the frame part is done. Then we got to do the airbags. So it's a lot of stuff we got to do. Let's go to the house first. We'll grab the bumper after we strip it, and then we'll see what we're gonna get done today. All right, guys. So I made it back to the garage. I'm gonna start stripping down this bumper real quick. What I'm gonna take off are these side markers on each side. These are like 40 bucks a piece. So those have to get saved. I got the upper grill, which looks okay to me. I got the lower grill, which also looks fine. But I ordered another one of these because if you see on this side, a chunk of it is missing. On that side, it looks good. So that thing wasn't too bad. I think it was like $38. So we're gonna take all that apart, and then I got to take this off too. This thing over here is pretty expensive. It's like, I think $120. I think it has 2 rivets on each side, and the rest of it just snaps in right over there. So take all that apart. Basically, it's gonna be just a piece of plastic when we're done. And then what we're talking about on the fender, see how a piece of the radiator support is right over there. So what that one guy was saying is to take it off from the fender and then use some kind of like epoxy or some kind of plastic weld and put it back on here. But I mean, if you see it like how thin it is, I don't think it's gonna hold up. So I'm not even gonna bother wasting my time with that. I just got a new one. But the new one comes in like a black color, so it's not painted like this. So I got 2 cans of spray paint. We're gonna paint that first. Take everything apart over here, throw that on there, and then I'll get moving on to the next step. So let me start on that. I'm gonna use like a trash can to hold up the bumper. I'll start stripping it apart, and then we'll go down to the dealership. So I got the upper grill off, lower grill. I got one side bracket off to save us something at least. These are like 30 bucks a piece. But I did screw up and I broke this upper closeout shield. I pushed on it too hard and it snapped right over here. That's the issue when it's, you know, kind of cold outside. This plastic breaks really easy. But that's not a problem. I'll get a new one of these. I did get the other fog light cover off, so that one's also good. So I did get a new one for the other side. This side we have already, and that's really it for the bumper. So now this is the core that we're going to take back to the dealer, just like that. Now, like I said, they'll give us 100 bucks back for a core charge. And these I'll put in the car later with the rest of the stuff. So when we take it to the frame shop, they can reinstall all that to the new bumper. All right, guys. So I went ahead and put the bumper in the trailer. Now we're going to start working on these doors. I want to pop out these door panels, and I'm also going to take these doors with me so I get to scrap them. These are pretty easy to take off. You got two access covers right over here, one on top, one on the bottom, and I think it's a Phillips screwdriver in there. We'll pop these off. Maybe we find some money under here, and then I'll take these to the scrap, and then put these door panels with the rest of the parts. So then when we take it to the frame shop, they can reinstall them to the new doors. I also got to get this mirror off. The new door didn't come with a mirror. So it's real important I get this off. This thing's pretty expensive. And right after we're done with that, then we can head down to the dealership, get the new parts, and then we'll take the doors from my buddy shop to the frame shop. So like I said, we got a lot of stuff to do. I want to get that done first, and then we'll come back and then we'll start working on it, get the core support off and all that good stuff. So now I'm gonna take these doors out to the trailer so I can get rid of them. And like I said, later with all this extra stuff, I'll put it inside the trunk or something. That way when it gets to the shop, they could reassemble it to the new stuff. But for now, let's get these doors out of here and then lock up here and then head down to the dealership to get the new stuff. All right. So what I ended up doing is, I'm gonna keep the doors. I do this one hand. Oh, never mind. I'm gonna keep the doors until I'm officially done with the car because I don't want to toss them and then end up needing something off the doors. All right, so I forgot I'm picking up half the stuff. So I got the bumper. This is the new bumper over here. I already dropped off the core, so we got the credit on that. I did get the wheel as well. This is the new brand new wheel. So I know I told you guys I might end up switching up to the new set that I showed you the picture of, but couldn't find this. So I just went up and got the new one, and I'm gonna keep the same original ones. This is the core support here. So this is what I meant by it's not painted, so we gotta get it painted. This is the belly pan for the oil. This is the belly pan for the bumper. This thing was ridiculous. It was like $400 some just for this piece of plastic. I got the new liner for the driver's side, and that is for the front bumper absorber. So everything should be here. This wheel was like $1,000, so it's starting to add up. So I'm gonna load up the bumper, get it in here, go drop these off, and then we'll go pick up the doors and the rocker and the fender and get those dropped off as well. So I was gonna make 2 trips, but I was good enough to fit everything in here. So these are the doors. If you watched the last video, I told you I got them the same color. They are gonna get rewrapped in that satin black or matte black, whatever that thing is. So it just saves the painter time on painting the inside. It keeps that original. This is the front, that's the rear. This is the rocker, also same color. That's the fender, also same color. This one has a bracket. I was gonna order a bracket, so I don't gotta do that anymore. And like I already showed you guys this stuff over here. I picked up the airbags. This is the roof airbag. These are the pre-tensioners. Like I explained, these deploy when the airbags go off, so you gotta replace them. These are the seat belts because they're locked up on the one I got. And this is the seat airbag. So we're gonna take the seat with the airbag to the upholstery shop, have them replace it, and then re-stitch it, and I'll bring it back. What else we got in here? Oh, I also got a scrap seat from my buddy. So since I'm taking the interior out, I want to put something in there so they can move it around. So we're going to use this seat just temporarily. And that's really everything that we need. Oh, this is a floor cover on the other side that we're missing. This is pretty cheap. I think it's like $27. And we're ready to go. So I'm gonna take all these to the bike shop. We're gonna drop off. I might keep these belly pans and stuff inside the car so they don't get lost. And go back to the house and start working on the car. All right, so I dropped off the doors, the fender, the rocker, the bumper, and the rest of the stuff like the plastics and all that. Make sure there's no people coming by. I'm gonna bring it by later, so that way nothing gets lost. Now I'm gonna go to the house. I'm gonna drop off the airbags. I'm gonna drop off all those shields that I got, and then I'm gonna go return this U-Haul. And then we can go back and start taking apart that front end. I'm gonna try to fix that tie rod. That way the wheel stays straight just temporarily until we get the new stuff in. So I have a lot of stuff to do. I've been burning a couple hours so far, but we're getting work done. So I'll meet you guys back at the house, unload all that stuff, return that trailer, and then we'll continue working on the car. And that's it. I'm out of breath, that was tiring. I got everything out of the trailer. What I did was, since I got the trailer, I might as well take advantage. I'm gonna take the seat to the upholstery shop with the airbag, have them put the new airbag in it, sew it back up, make it look good again, and then we'll bring it back once it's done. And the seat is dropped off. That's where I deal right here. Quality One Finisher Upholstery. They do pretty good work. He said it'll be done by Monday. So we're done with our errands. Now we're gonna go back to the garage and finally start working on this thing. All right guys, so I'm back at the house. I'm gonna start prepping the core support for paint. What I did was I went to AutoZone. I got me a scuffing pad. I think one should do it for now. I'm gonna scuff it down real good so the paint will stick on there. So obviously this one's green. That brand new one has to get painted. So I'm gonna take everything apart. I'm gonna take the headlights off, take the horns out, take the latch off. I'm gonna have the other camera set up, which is right over here. And then we'll do a time lapse of me doing all this. It's not that hard. I mean, the headlights come off, obviously. Then you gotta take off the screws for the fender. This is where we have the problem on the other side. This whole piece is broken. You gotta take off your baffles, take off your horns, your latch, and then right over here, I don't know if you can see it. These over here, they clip onto the radiator support. It's a really heavy clip, so you gotta use some pressure to take them off. And then you have your ABS, or not the ABS, the airbag sensors, the impact sensors. There's one on each side. You can't see on this side, but there's one right under that brake line. And then you got your air cleaner box. You gotta take off the screw, and then really everything comes off. Right under here, there's 13mm bolts, 2 of them. And then you have one right over there. So in total, you got 3, 6, and then 2 for the fender. So about 10 screws in total that hold it to the car. Oh, don't forget these up top too. These are for the fender as well. These are different. So if you're taking these off, these are different than these. So don't get it mixed up. I mean, obviously, these are a different color as well. So let me start doing that. I got some gloves so my hands don't get dirty. It's pretty cold outside. So I don't know how long it's gonna take till these till the paint dries up. but I'm gonna leave it in the sun and get started and get it painted. And then while that's drying up, I'm going to finish removing the interior on the other side. In the last video, we took off the driver's seat and this bottom seat. Now I'm gonna take off these back ones. I'm gonna take off this passenger side seat. I'm gonna take off the center console, get this rest of the carpet out of here, and then that way everything stays nice and clean while it goes to the frame shop. But you know what? I think it will be a good idea if I try to fix that tie rod now. That way I could get it off the stands, drop it on its on the wheels, which are right over there. So I don't know if my little torch over here is gonna work, but we're still gonna try it. The problem with this is that it's aluminum, so it's either gonna snap or it's gonna bend back in shape. I don't know if you can see it, but it probably already cracked from the impact. I'm surprised it didn't break all the way. So I'm gonna heat it up right where the head is at, right over there. And then I'll use a tie bar, a smaller tie bar, and then just bend it back just as close as possible until we get the new one in. Where's my tie bars? They're in here. So we'll use probably use this one over here. Just bend it back and then put the wheels on, and then I can drop it and work on it like that. Only reason why I put on the jack stands is because when we're taking off the bumper and the fender liners and all that, it's easier to work on it like this. But since we're done with that, I can put the wheels back on and get it out the way. So this is what I'm working with, and it works. So as you can see, the tie rod is a lot more straight now than it was before. So I had to put a piece of wood because it kept sliding off when I tried to use the jack to bend it back. I used my little torch gun to put some heat to it so it doesn't snap, and I'm just waiting for it to cool down a little bit. Then I'll drop it, put the bolt back on, or the nut actually. It's a 21 mil, and the wheel should be straight just temporarily until we change those out. Those are on back order. I got them on order last week, so we should see them sometime. They said about 7 to 10 days. So once we get those in, we'll replace on both sides, redo the alignment. But now, once that's cooled down, I'll put the wheels back on, take the jack stands off, and then we'll get to work on that core support. I want to get it done before the sun goes out. That way we still got some light to work with. Yes, sir. See how the wheel, can't really tell now until I put the wheel back on, but it's a big difference. This one here is bent too, right over there, but I'm not gonna worry about it now. As long as the wheel is somehow going the same direction, that way it's a lot easier to go in and out. When I was bringing it up the driveway, it was kind of wanting to go to the left because the other wheel's straight, but now we shouldn't have the issue anymore. So I'm gonna get all my tools out the way. I'll grab the wheels right over here. I don't think they're directional. I'll double check on that. Get them put on, and like I said, we'll take the jack stands off and move on to the core support and knock that out before the sun goes down. Okay, so the core support is all stuffed down, looking good for paint. I don't know if you guys knew this, but if you go to the dealer, you can actually get a spray can off your paint code. So this paint code is PFQ, and this is original from Mopar. So I got 2 cans. I think I should be all right with one. I'm gonna do a couple layers so that way it don't peel off or chip. So I'll start with one light one, and then wait for it to dry, hit another one. Probably do like 3 or 4. So let's do that, and while that dries, like I said, we'll start working on the interior. I don't know how much time I got going on with this, but if we do run out of time, I'll leave it for the next part. If we do got enough, I'll put them together. So let's start painting and see where we end up.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
you can't lie. For a backyard paint job, that thing looked like it came from the factory. This is only 2 coats. I used about 1 can right there. I still got a whole new one, so I'm gonna wait for it to dry. Give it about 20 minutes. I still got to cover up some small spots, like right over there. I'm using a flashlight, like right over there. Give those a nice couple coats. Wait for it to dry. I don't know if I'm gonna be comfortable with installing it tonight. It's already getting late, and it's gonna get dark pretty soon. So I might get started on taking everything apart today, and then finish off everything tomorrow. Hopefully it doesn't snow. But if we don't, then we gotta wait until it stops snowing, or I could probably just pull in the garage right over here close to the elephant and do what I gotta do. Because after that, once I'm done with this, it's going to the frame shop. I got everything that I need. You guys already seen that part, except the B pillar. Remember, if you guys, what was it, the video before the last video, I showed you that I had a shell the same color, but that one was not a wide body. So I did some research, and the part number for the pillar is actually different because the rockers, they stick out more. So if I was to cut it off that one, I would have had a huge problem. So good thing I caught that. So what I did was I ended up getting another cut from LKQ. It's a big like salvage yard here in Michigan. So they're supposed to be delivering that on Monday. But after that, man, we got everything that we need. So we got all the doors, we got the fenders, we got the bumper. The hood right over here, I don't know if that's an actual indent like into the actual hood, or that's just part of the vinyl. So I might take off the hood wrap as well as a quarter, because the quarter is damaged. So we might take off the wrap. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna have time today, probably sometime tomorrow. But let's wait for this thing to dry up a little bit, hit it with one more coat. I'll put this in the garage so no dust or anything hits on it, and then we'll go on to the interior before it gets dark in there. So we are officially out of time. As you can see, it's already getting dark. I gotta put the core support inside the garage. I'm gonna leave it overnight to dry, and then hopefully tomorrow morning we can get that bad boy installed. This is the wheel. I don't know if I showed you guys this morning before I left the house, but this thing over here was $1,000 plus shipping. I had to get it from California. It was the only dealer that showed it in the US, so I got lucky and found that one. I really wanted to go with the other set of wheels, but I couldn't find them, and I really didn't want to wait. So after, I mean, this thing is still holding air. This is the wheel that's screwed up. That tire looks pretty janky, but I don't know if I'm gonna do it now or after it comes back from the frame shop, so we'll see on that. But other than that, we're probably gonna finish this thing up tomorrow. I don't know how much time I have on this video. If it's long enough, I'll post it as part 3, but if not, we'll do a part 3 tomorrow with the core support installation. Like I said, if it does snow, I can just pull in the front end over here somewhere, get that knocked out, which shouldn't take me more than like 30 minutes. So we gotta get that done. I still gotta do the rear. Oh, damn, I forgot about that. I just reminded myself, I still gotta put this control arm on for the rear. This one needs a lot of work because I gotta drop the exhaust and do all that stuff. So we gotta do that. I still gotta strip the interior. And then once the interior is stripped, all I gotta do is throw this piece of crap seat in there, because I don't want the other set to get dirty. And then after it comes back, we'll reinstall everything, get it complete, and then we have to get it rewrapped and then do the alignment. So we still got ways to go, but it's coming together pretty good. You know, especially because of parts, that was my biggest concern, but the parts all here, it's just a matter of time before it gets done. So if I don't see you guys back on part 4, we'll catch you guys tomorrow. If I don't see you guys tomorrow, then we'll see you guys back on part 4. So if you guys are new, make sure to subscribe, hit that like button, and I'll see you back on the next one.